2, 3, 4. Down to the VHS. VHS out of the VHS. It's the 18 of my business. I was out of the house and doing stuff. Smoking the Wi-Fi beverages. And I guess that's the way it goes. Down to the VHS. VHS out of the VHS. Got no money, smoking crack, saving up for the Betamax. Down to the VHS. VHS out of the VHS.
Hello.
Greetings and welcome to Obscure Tape Time, the show where we watch VHS in their entirety and invite you to suffer along with us.
Man,
Yeah, suffering. We're doing it. Huh?
I got the big suffering.
Oh,
And a migraine all yesterday. And, yeah, still recovering. Also, thanks to Postroff for the sub. Jesus. 7 months.
all the month.
A lot of months.
That's what you've been doing this week?
That. And,
What else?
well, I warned you last episode.
Yeah?
Yeah, you said, yeah, we're getting monetized on YouTube. And I said, maybe we shouldn't be announcing that right now because problems.
Oh no.
And guess what happened?
It didn't go through?
Just as the episode was ending, I got the email.
Oh wow. So what do they say?
That our content is not our own.
Our content is not our own, but it is our own, right?
Not
So-
most of the stuff getting the views.
Is it something that we can do something about? Like, did they say anything that we can do to fight against it?
Yeah, we can appeal.
How do you appeal?
Don't know.
Do you have to? Did it say that you have to make a video?
I didn't read it. just
I
read that
did.
It said
Want to
no.
know what I've been doing this week?
You made a video, didn't you?
Yeah, it's up for your appeal first, so you have to tell me whether you want something added in, changed, whatever. But I made a video and I made you download it, and it's ready to play.
Oh, here we go.
So whenever you're
is
ready,
that the one?
yeah,
Alright.
yeah, go for it.
Hey, it's the intro.
Yeah.
Oh, all those tapes.
Oh, I didn't see you there. Greetings. I'm Bat Prince
I'm
from
standing right
the
here.
Obscure Tape Time Show and State of Normality YouTube channel.
1, 2, 3, 4. Down to the VHS. VHS.
We recently applied to become part of the YouTube Partner Program, but got denied on the basis of reused content. We work with VHS, but our conservation efforts are by no means our channel's primary objective. Each week, we meet up with a live audience to commentate over some of the weirdest and most obscure tapes we can find. We research the tapes we watch. Seem to be locally made, because Gordon Stanfield himself was working on all these things, but they have cut down news segments.
How did you not fall asleep while finding any of this out?
Have special guests sit in the viewings with us.
This would be my younger sister.
There's a moment in this commercial that caught me so off guard.
So this is me, like in the background.
Well, did Dracula just show up?
Contact people involved with the tapes and do interviews with them.
So we had ropes and we had Paul.
Right, I had a business to run as well with the first one. And
I was never very pleased with that video. It was a bit of a...
Let's see if maintenance have got a ladder.
Perfect.
Make compilation videos of our favorite bits. And occasionally do skits based on the content we find. The Obscure Tape Time Cooking Show. Okay.
You are aware that you're live, right?
We're live? Thanks, Jeff. Good evening, everyone. And welcome to the 3 Gs of presentations.
PDD issued a challenge to Bad Prince.
We each get $50 dues to see who can make the finest of stamp collections.
Skin turns black with putrefaction gleam. We do back up the tapes for prosperity. A lot of the tapes are one of a kind and can't be found anywhere else on the internet. I had a sex change.
Yeah.
In the barren wastelands of Australia, where VHS barely survive, please reconsider our application. Your vote could help us become a real channel. Thank you.
So if you'd like to add anything or change anything, it's up to you.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to submit that then.
I'm not sure how
Who
open
cares?
to it they're going to be.
Who cares? It's
I
part
just
of
like
our
the
journey.
idea
And
of
when
someone
we get,
having to watch that.
we'll keep fighting it, and like when we're done, we'll make a documentary about how we fought it. Hey!
The YouTube episode.
Yeah, the episode where we talk about our episode. But yeah, I made a video. Was it fun?
I like that. I like that. We should do more of that sort of content. We need to scour through our episodes and actually make
I think we should do one once a month.
a highlight for each month, you mean?
Oh, you mean highlights? I mean like a skit.
Well, skits, yeah, I agree as well, but...
Yeah. Well, I've just at a point of interest, I have put up like the next bunch of episodes all the way up to last October. I think nearly to December. I've sorted out like a rough idea of what we could do on any particular day. I mean, up for changing things, of course, but I was just feeling bipolar up and creative and looking hard, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
All right, are we ready to get to this tape before you run out of too much energy?
I don't have a lot to give, so that might be a good idea.
That's fine.
That might be a good idea. I'm still feeling a bit fucked up.
That's okay. Before you change anything, I need to do the spiel. We researched the tapes, right?
right. But normally, it's crossover time.
So I'm going to do a disclaimer. We've had this tape in our collection since before we started collecting tapes. I had this as a kid. I watched it as a kid. But it has been circulated amongst the internet and people. It's like a tape trading classic. This is one of Dee's videos. Dee is the person behind the Posh Impressions company. Ooh, what's that?
Some bits.
Some biddies. Posh Impressions is a company that sells stamps and sponges and stuff. And Dee herself does these videos. Like a lot of these instructional videos, are always trying to sell something. So she's selling her magical sponges and her stamps and all these embossing liquids and stuff. But it was found out very early on that she gets way too excited about her own products. So I've got 2 of these tapes, and these tapes are bootlegs of real tapes, and each of these bootleg tapes have 2 tapes on them. So we're only watching half of this particular tape today, but it's one entire tape. We'll watch the other one closer to Christmas or something, and they're fun. They're very fun. The reason why I pulled this out of the bag to move some other stuff around is because Dee just died this week.
Oh, Rip Dee.
Yeah, so Rip Dee, she had this successful company selling all of her stuff. She had all of these. She had like 20 of these instructional videos as well.
Yeah.
Only 2 or 3 of them get circulated around the internet. Aside from that, she went into being a bit of a recluse because she was known on the internet for being, you know, a little bit wacky and zany, and people wanted to talk to her and stuff, so she kind of reclused away from that. But she was on a TV show at one point as well, like, you know, when they cut away to the segments of stuff, one of those like daytime morning stuff. But her husband wrote a book, And if you want to support her family in any way, ignore the Posh Impression stuff because that stuff doesn't really exist. They sold that company, but the book all about Dee's life and how she became an entrepreneur into stamping and what happened to her afterwards. Everything. So let's watch her do some stamping. Oh, something I wanted to show you. This video came with the original labels.
Oh, the labels.
My
Used to love
favorite
these
is the
things.
horror one. I think we should scan that in and make it a shirt because it's a terrible looking
Monster.
Frankenstein monster. Yeah. Come on, rewind.
It's only going to be a couple minutes of actual tape that hasn't been rewound. That I move to. Oh, okay. And I should bring the chat up so I can actually appreciate you, Meston. Hope you're doing well, dude. Very advanced for my
Oh, D will bring up your energy, right?
I don't know if anything could right now, to be perfectly honest with you. Not about energy, I'm just like...
I'm so eager to share with you today via this video. After teaching thousands in workshops, we're going to condense it and give you the best in techniques and 12 years of stamping experience.
Well,
I don't want to go on any further. I want to get started.
I remember there was one video somewhere where she actually kept mentioning that her husband told her to stop being impressed with her own
number
work.
one. I'm asked once, I'm asked a dozen times how to get organized, and this is a specialty of mine. I like to get everything
How to get
ready in an area
You should all
and
pay
a place
attention to that.
so that when I'm ready to stamp, everything is there. I don't have to get up to go for scissors, tape, or whatever. Now, this is my arrangement. First of all, I begin with a pad of paper underneath my stamp area. I like 11 by 17 because if you do any large stamping or big surfaces, that helps. It doesn't have to be a colored piece of paper. It can be white, and it's copy paper. Very easy to obtain. I have my pens always to my right side, right-handed, and I have arranged them in a holder. You'll see when I get into next section.
This is like someone telling you how to stack the dishwasher correctly,
I have
right?
secondary pens. I have a holder here with all of my materials such as scissors, glue pen, calligraphy, extra pens in case I get certain colors colored with other pens, X-Acto knife, whiteout. We'll come to all of those later. I have a stamp cleaner. I've recently found through a lot of travel that I take an old hairspray.
I've also never used the dishwasher, but I have used stamps. You see,
more bits. Thank you.
Window cleaner, half water.
See, the reason I have this tape is because my mother and my aunts used to do stamps. They used to always get Christmas cards just embossed and stamped, and prettied, and
it's a
scrapbooked, and
pad, we call it.
yeah.
And
everything they learned
from
D.
on here. That way, when my stamp is dirty,
Maybe we should start doing
has
Christmas
a
cards in the
stand-up
Stay of a
area,
Melody
almost
Discord.
like Velcro or
Yeah.
nylon.
Actually do
And
stamping
I
and
can
emboss
wipe
them
my
and get one of them
stamp off
heat
very
guns to make it
effectively.
raise down. We'll get to that.
Now, another particular thing that is very helpful is an arrangement of your rubber stamps. People are always asking me, how do you store your stamps? I found the most effective way is with trays.
It's something that people,
everyone,
all the people, just asking that now, but the people that are interested in how she stores her stamps.
Boxed frame. Boxed frames look kind of like this. This happens to be 11 by 14. And what you do
so it's
is
a little
make an
shorter than your
arrangement of
11 by
stamps in a
17
tray.
paper.
Let me show you with a smaller one right here.
Good thing you don't put paper in there.
You do your arrangement of stamps. When they are all puzzled together, merely flip this over on a copy machine. Get your images, put that on the bottom, underneath, kind of like this.
Kind of exactly
arrange
like
your
that.
stamps according to your arrangement with a copy machine. Therefore, when you're going for a rose stamp, you know where the rose stamp. You've
Now remember,
always
people,
put
these are
the rose
secrets.
stamp right next to the
And this
file.
is not. This is number one, and there are 7 secrets.
It doesn't take a large area. I want you to know that. I mean, I have a wonderful arrangement here in which I'm going to be showing you a lot of visuals. But recently, I went on a trip to the Far East. Now, my favorite way of spending 16 hours on a plane, of course, is rubber stamping. I was able to get every single bit of my materials in
A little bit of
carrier
turbulence.
only this big. Now you can see I have 36, no less than 36 rubber stamps. Sure, they're a little bit smaller. I have my pens in a section, my towel for my lap, my
Yeah, maybe there's
small
scissors these days on-
container for cleaners, scissors, sponges, and everything. A wonderful
What if
way
they
to
had,
pass the time of 16
squigglies in them?
hours.
Look, she got a picture of her on the
So
plane
you
with scissors.
see how good
Thank God her husband
organization
wasn't.
really gets you off
Not
to the right
Al-Qaeda.
start. Now on to the second step.
We're getting up to secret number 2 already? How can I achieve the colorful results that I see in your examples? That's a secret. But we're
I'm
going to find
often
out.
asked, how do I
today.
get such brilliant results? It's
And my
easy.
answer is,
Just
I'll never tell.
First, glossy paper stock. If it's not glossy, get a coated stock. This allows the color to stay on the surface rather than be absorbed. Second, a bold surface stamp. Now, what does that mean? Let's take an illustration here. I have 2 stamps in my hand. I have one with a bold surface, such as the geranium, one with an open image, more or less a line design. This is going to show much more color than the tote. You're going to see this illustrated. Let's look on the back. The raised portion shows the portion that will be colored. Much more color will fit on the geranium than on the lined image of the tote. Now, one hint that you often find with bold images, when they come fresh out of the mold, a lot of silicone is used to get them out of the vulcanizer as stamps are made.
The vulcanizer?
That means that there is
Sounds
a
fancy.
silicone residue on the back of the stamp. Now, let's take the illustration of this, this balloon stamp. I'm going to take a light color, because this often happens on a light color, and put it over, and you can see it's beating up the color. This will not give you a clear image. Simple trick.
Well, what do we do?
Clean off the stamp, just blot it off. Go to your beauty supply, your local one, and get
As
a
opposed to
sponge.
one somewhere else.
This comes in many forms. Here I have an abrasive, whatever is used for nails. Not too harsh, but it will
File?
braise the surface. I do this in a circular motion. Get off that, that seal.
I do this in a circular
And,
motion.
of course, wipe it off. Now my color will go on absolutely perfectly. I'm going to do a little bit of orange and a little bit of yellow, and then stamp it. Now, as I do this, I hope this happens that it blots beads up. Yes, it did. Immediately, turn it over. Remember I said this backup paper is going to come in handy. That takes the excess off, and we have a pure image. 2 hints that are very, very important to remember.
No, it does make a difference.
Ready to get
Everything
stamping.
makes a difference.
But it's also
Now,
simple, but you wouldn't
pens,
necessarily
as I
think of it.
mentioned, are so important.
Or you could buy a
I've
Hallmark
designed a
card
holder
for
at a
$2.
slant. I've glue gunned in the
Then you're
pens.
funding a good
The
Christmas
lid is
movie.
in there. It will never come
Yeah.
out. Well, you know, not very often. These pens are all loose. They can be shaken out. This makes it so much faster for me to grab a pen. You want to make this easy. Easy for you to change your color
Ninja.
and grab at your pens quickly. The pens are such good quality. They're made
You always
by
need to be able to grab at your
Martin They're
pens
the
quickly.
best
Especially if
pens on
someone
the
comes
market.
in and tries to
Each one
assassinate
of
you.
them has a number for a color, and I'm going to refer to that color. And their lifespan is about a year to 16 months. All right, hold her back in place. Let's get started. I'm going to take the lined image first and a light lavender pen. Now you notice I'm going to take the side of the pen and go right over the back of the raised
I will
portion
notice that.
only. You don't have to be particularly careful. Everyone in the beginning is worried that they get the color in the right place. Don't worry, all of the art has been done. I call this art without anxiety because all of the art is in the stamp.
I appreciate it.
Now, there is a
My
slight
kind of
shadow
art.
underneath that tote handle, so I'm going to emphasize that handle, and we're all set. Now, when you go to stamping, make sure you don't rock the stamp, just press down. Make sure all 4 corners are
Is
pressed.
she rocking it?
And wow, you have the image of the tote.
And
See how easy?
Beautiful.
Now let's clean
And no
off the
anxiety.
stamp. We haven't addressed that.
None.
We take This pad,
That's good art.
all this pad is a replacement paint pad available at any hardware store. It's fuzzy. I'm going to
Your
refer
local
to it as a
hardware
fuzzy pad. It has fibers
your
that
local.
stick up.
Don't
That
go
means
anywhere
I'm going
else.
to get my
Oh,
stamp
right.
clean all inside.
Oh,
Now, I
local.
refresh it with a little bit of stamp cleaner mixed with
Ooh,
water
spritz.
or window cleaner. I merely twist. Don't go back and forth, just twist. And all the color will come off of the stamp. Now remember, this is real wet. You go to a cloth in your lap and dry off that image. And
You gotta remember all this if you ever want to do like stamping with a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
I
You gotta have all
my
these things ready.
tote. Let's put
Yeah.
the broad images right inside the
It'll
tote.
be like, I just want to do some stamping. You'll be like, no, we have to prepare the towel. We've got to spritz the sponge.
For a block, I'm
exactly.
going to take a piece of tracing paper from my stamp positioner area. That way I can see the tote underneath, but I'm going to have a block so that the geranium will not fall down back into the tote. Let's choose a color. This is number 7, brush art marker. It's an orange, a very brilliant orange. And I'm going over the back of the stamp.
But you can't have green geraniums, silly.
This is number 9. I think it's one of my favorite colors.
Number
I've never been known to stick with one color green. I'm going to start off with number 48 green and go one side of the leaf area with 48.
That's too
And
much.
I'm going to go to number 4.
It's gonna be in the bag. It's a waste of
Christmas
ink.
green. Now as I look, it's a little bit juicy. I may have to blot and turn this over, so we're prepared for that.
Juice.
I merely stamp the image way down and get up, and I have a beautifully stamped geranium. It's hard to believe how bright and brilliant it is, and how easy. Now, we're going to change the color, so let's clean. Twist off that old color off the pad, dry it again.
Juicy.
Let's get on new color.
Juicy.
This time
What up, Craig? How you doing, dude?
Number 31, which is a wonderful violet.
Sorry I missed your stream
Let's go
yesterday. I
deeper
was in
with
bed.
maybe magenta below. That's number 20.
I'm still feeling the
Back
effects
to
of it right
greens.
now.
Let's go in the turquoise greens this time.
Copy.
Number 14 over
The effects
here.
of missing your stream.
Yep.
Turquoise.
What
And
caused
let's
it?
blend with number
Discount.
34 green. Now,
In the meantime,
another
Craig,
hint.
enjoy
This
some
is pretty
stamps.
juicy in the leaves.
Dude.
I'm going to let
They're
it
juicy
sit
again.
a little on my paper. Only to get off
Ooh,
the
look
excess.
at that. Yeah, that's
Okay,
some excess
now
right there.
I'm going to
She's-
put it up
she's-
to my mouth and breathe on it with warm, moist air.
You're what?
Warm, moist air.
That reactivates.
Every stamp's got a
Press.
little bit of tea.
Wow.
Ta-da.
Couldn't be
That middle's a
easier.
little bit blotchy.
Secret number 3. How do I achieve these wonderful watercolors?
Watercolor.
Wow.
You saw how easy it was to get bright effects with your
I like
glossy
camera too.
paper stock, your pens, and your bold images. Now I'm going to address colored blends with the pens. This, I think, is the secret to stamping a posh impression stamp.
Well, it's secret number
I'm
3.
taking the heart stamp,
No,
turning it over, and I'm going to
But
start
then
now
7 secret.
with
D.
the lightest color. I'm starting with
Damn it,
number,
D.
this is number 5, yellow pen. And I'm going to go over the top with number 5.
A little love heart.
Now I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
go the next shade darker. It's like a golden yellow, number 43, and blend it right next door to that. Now, my blend
Hello.
is very, very even. I don't need to do what I'm going to do in the next step. Now I'm going to coral,
she's
number
gonna do it.
35, with a strip there. That blends very well with the golden yellow. Now I'm going to number 7, and blending
Is she-
that. All of
Is
these
she
are
actually
blending
teaching us
together
anything or
beautifully.
just enjoying herself
Not
at
so
the
with the
point?
next color.
Yes.
Number 9 is a very, very rich
Both things
pink,
at the same time.
but there's more contrast between the orange and the pink. So my trick is now to go back to the lighter color, number 7, and that
Just the
line
beer
that is
being washed
strong
out,
there
honest.
to
Just a
reinforce
little-
just
that
one
with
blob.
a lighter color
You
pen.
just wait until that comes out on the paper.
I know, it's gonna be
you'll
amazing, isn't
notice
it?
your pen will get dirty with the other color. Very easy.
Oh, yeah,
When
we're
you have
gonna
a
talk about
quality
this.
pen, this
Okay.
works beautifully. Merely take your window cleaner, spray it on a paper towel this time, and take that orange, which is now a dirty orange, run it, roll it over in the Windex, and you'll get pure orange, light orange again. Thus, you have not hurt your pen in the least.
Oh.
Now
Wash your
on
damn pens,
to the next
people.
Pay
color.
attention,
now that
kids.
we've blended, we're going to go to number 31. This is a great,
This tape has the
wonderful
same problem that a couple of the
but
ones
I
we've
have a
watched
strong
have. And
edge.
that
So now back
because
to number 9.
he's,
I think you're
he knows
getting
what
the
she's
picture
talking
how I
about
have
and
to
she's
go
really
back.
having a good time.
Now from
Makes it more interesting
that
to
color
watch.
on to number
That's alright.
20,
I
a
don't think
very,
it's that
very
bad if we
strong
just
color.
sit back and watch and don't
Now
talk
go
crap
back
over
to
the top
lighter
of
color,
videos
number
every now and then.
31, to blend that
And it's good
line.
because you've had the head problem,
Now
so
on
it's
to
like
blue.
perfect.
Number
Sit back and
10.
relax. He's
Boy,
great.
This is a strong color right here. So
Next time you
all
have
the more
head problems,
important to
tell
go
me.
back
I'll
to
bring the
number
other
20
side of the
and
tape.
cover that
Just
adjoining
sit back,
line.
relax, and watch some D.
Remember, if your pen is dirty, just wash it in that Windex, and you get pure color again.
Now the thing
Now
is,
on to the
I
last
know
color,
what the start one of
48
this
green,
is and the start
which
one of the
blends
other
very
tape is,
beautifully with the
and
blue.
because I backed this
All
one
right,
up, I
we're
know what
ready.
the
Now you
second
notice
tape is on
I've
this one
talked
as well.
quite a bit
I
of
don't know what the
time.
second tape on the other one is.
The air
Maybe
has
we got
dried out
magical
the first colors
sponge
that I've done.
That would be
And
fun.
remember this very easy hint. Breathe on the image with warm, moist breath, and that activates all of the pigment in the stamp. Press down.
least
Without
you
rocking
cut
the
all
stamp,
the
it may have looked
breaths.
like I was rocking the stamp, but I haven't. I'm just
Okay.
pressing all 4 corners. And wow! Look at your blended image. Now, I
So,
am a very
80s.
particular stamper. You'll notice
It looks
small
totally
little
too-
holes that I want to correct.
Like early
I go
90s, just
to
with the actual
my
like.
secondary pen over here.
I want
These
that
are
on
the
a,
style.
on a patch, and I
Every
want it
single
on
one
my
of these
knee.
colors has
On a
a
shirt. in it.
corresponding number. If number 20 has a little
button-up
area that
shirt.
needs to be touched up, I
Those
pull number
kinds of
20
hearts all
pen
over it.
and touch it up right there. Right here, number 7, my orange needs touching up. So I pull
There's
this
a little
pen
bit of anxiety.
and touch up the orange.
Gotta
Yeah,
remember
I'm
which.
starting to
I
see
keep
some
these
anxiety
pens
here.
always
Gotta remember which
pure,
color pen you did.
never getting other colors mixed up on them. Now here, this is a coral. Let's get the coral and cover that up. Whoops.
Ah, screwed it up.
Here's a better coral to touch up. And now our image has been touched up. A very important thing. You don't want to get discouraged to some of the areas of the stamp. By some means, don't get pressed. We go to our fuzzy pad and clean
Hey, fuzzy buddy.
our stamp off again. All right, now I've shown you how to blend
Have.
a wide heart. But let's get into something that will show you another type of blending, such as a word stamp. One of my favorites, since in a business you're always sending a lot of thank you notes, is to take the thank you stamp and to show you blending through that stamp. Now, my reason of making a giant thank you is very, very simple. It takes,
Is to say
it
it's not a
occupies
giant
most
thing.
of the stamp area, so you do not need to do a lot of embellishments, although you can. So we're taking the thank you stamp, turning it over. You see a lot of bold area.
Turn it over.
Uh-oh, I noticed glitter. Another hint. When you see glitter on the back of the raised image, it is extremely important to get that glitter off. I do that
Is
with
it?
Scotch tape
You don't want
Or
glitter.
else what?
right up here. You put it on the
Sticky
surface,
tape.
and the Scotch
Scotch
tape will
Gotta
lift
use
up
the
any
brand.
of the glitter.
It's
Glitter
sticky
has a
tape.
very adhesive quality, and you can't even wash it off, but Scotch tape will do the trick. All right, now my stamped image is all ready to go again. I'm going to start this time with number 20. It's a wonderful magenta color. You'll notice how juicy, what good quality.
You said
these
juicy
pens are.
again.
From there, I'm going to go
Pink.
to our lavender, number 31. From lavender, I'm going to go to number 9, the pink. From number 9
Number
to
9.
number 7. Now these blends, I'm checking to make sure.
You think if I
they're
walked
very
into an
even.
art store and said I wanted a number
There
9,
I'm going to go to
and
yellow
they'd give me the right color?
and blend that into the
Oh,
orange.
yes, I have this kind of pen.
From yellow, now let's go to green. turning the stamp the other way and going with a very light green, then blending to a darker green. Now, I want you to see, close up and personal, how strong those two colors are together. This is not going to be a pretty sight if we were to turn the stamp over. You'd get this strong blend instead of a smooth blend. So I go back to my lighter color pen, as I showed you in the heart, and get it smooth again. This is my secret. It always works.
This is the secret.
It always works,
On to
Chester.
blue,
Always works.
then on to a dark blue.
Yeah, put a little up on your butt.
Beauty mark.
And then let's finish up with purple. Boy, is this
Okay,
a good,
let's do
strong,
purple.
vivid color. Now, I always say the larger the stamp, the more calories you burn. So
Ow.
now an added benefit, physical. So what I
Always
do
said.
is I huff and puff. Be careful you
Get
don't
it.
pass out. Put the stamp down and now lift up and really, really press. And wow.
Huh. It does
This is
look
a
quite nice.
wonderful thank you, but you're even going to see more with embellishments that you won't be able to believe.
You won't be able to believe. Wow, look at all those embellishments that she could do. Clowns!
Meek!
So many things.
I don't believe I do, Jaden.
Secret 4.
'Cause I
How
have
can
not
I
said
achieve artistic compositions
Now I am
safely?
ready
Is that what
to
it said?
roll
Or
up my sleeves and get stamping.
quickly.
We're
I
going
was
to
reading chat.
visualize an artistic
Oh, there you go.
composition.
I do
When
have
you
that.
think of the stamps
Stream
in your
elements must
collection,
come with it by
in the
default.
case of Posh Impressions, so many of them work well together. So you want to think in terms of that. Now let's get started. I'm going to do a forest scene because I so enjoy showing how grass builds up so easily. And it's
I
a
had a feeling
very,
it's been a
very
while,
effective
Janet.
visual look. I'm going to achieve the grass effect by using two types of grass, hilltop grass and a wild grass. Now I'm going to start, this is key, with a very light green. This color
What do you think
is
her
not
husband's
gonna
done with all
be
of her
that
stamps?
good looking, but it's key
Oh, he stamps
to my
himself.
getting
He's
dimension
probably
in my
just like, oh
composition.
yeah, I'll just...
So we
No,
take the
this is
grass,
one of the things where she
color.
goes into a room and shuts the door, and you're not allowed to talk to her
stamp
when she's got the door shut.
has a
No,
lot
because
of
she
fun
loves
in
showing it
So
off.
the
She's
first
probably like, come
image
and
I'm
watch
gonna
me.
press on my backup paper.
Will you come and
Now
watch
I'm
me
ready
stamp
to
today?
start stamping.
Yeah, you think he's going to keep that
Gets a little noisy.
that collection for himself?
Yeah, probably.
All right, remember, press it
He
here
should leave it
and
to
stamp.
like a museum
Now,
when he goes.
Keep stamping
And the museum will take it,
until
though.
all of the color has gone out.
VHS museum.
I almost can do
Isn't
this
that the
with my
exact
eyes
kind of thing
closed.
she
It's
would have
so
wanted to
easy.
avoid, though?
Yeah. But he wrote a book about it, like, and
All
totally
right, my first base coat,
monetized in on that.
so to speak.
Nice.
Next, I go to the next shade darker. Number 34, it's a wonderful summer green. Again on the back of the grass. Now look what this color does. It's starting to add some dimension, but we are long from being
Which
finished.
dimension?
Long.
On to the next darker shade. Number 48. This is a wonderful leaf green.
It's like a Bob Ross life hack, right?
Doesn't so quick. She gets rid of the excess first, like she taught us before.
Can you begin to see the difference?
I can.
On to
Well,
a
dark
darker
one's
color.
kind of
This
Okay.
kind of
taken over
turquoise.
now.
Give it a-
Turquoise is number 14.
Now it's going to cover up all that light green you started with.
And that's why you're not an art. Too much art anxiety.
I just...
Look how it's taking shape.
Look, looks like there's a lake.
Now on to number 4. This is a wonderful Christmas green.
Christmas
And then we
beans.
finish
Interesting
up
how Christmas
with
has
my
its own green.
favorite secret weapon.
It needs its own
number
green.
25
It's from the
bottle green.
third trees, right?
It's like frosting on a cake. You use it very sparingly.
Just
for
like
accent.
frosting on a cake. Very. Okay,
And wow.
Ow.
We're not finished by any means. We need the detail. We get the detail with
Wow,
wild
they're
grass.
not finished by any
Again, I
means.
start with my very lightest shade. Remember that color? 52 green.
Looks like a poisonous mist.
The one that doesn't look so hot, but gives you a
Nice.
wonderful backup. I put that high on the hillside. Now that needs to be darkened with number, let's say 43. Let's jump to 43 already. And I just accent
Let's jump to 43.
there. Now I'm going to a much stronger color, number 4 for accent. I go on the intermediate hills with number 4 green. Oh, this is such fun. It's just unbelievable
There
how
she
it
goes.
takes shape. Now,
Just
my
starting to
weapon,
lose itself.
number 25 bottle green.
Just starting to be
Now
like,
this,
oh,
I go
fun.
over
Yes,
the
the
foreground,
best.
and wow, does it stand out.
Yay!
Now my grass is finished. Now, grass a composition does not make. I'm going to add trees. First,
What
I'm
the
going
heck
to
was
clean off
that
those
saying?
stamps with a fuzzy pad.
Does not make.
Grass a
Them away
composition does not
and
make.
go to our tree. Oh, we could do any shade of brown, grays.
But what number are you using?
Plant one on one side. Now, if it's ever juicy, just turn it over and
Juicy,
blot it off
yeah.
like we're doing right now. The other tree, of course we don't want it in the same color. Let's get a lighter brown. Okay, now we have the bare skeleton of trees on a hillside. Now the fun begins. We're going to put foliage on the trees. I'm
Like
going to take a stamp called Leafy
Only
Limb,
just begun.
again starting with the light colors. You'll know my secret.
It's 27 anything. I want to punch
Blot
off.
it first and go over the tree.
Someone wants to talk to you.
I don't know.
It's very light
thought
again,
I
so we
put
go
this
the
on
next
Do Not
shade
Disturb.
darker.
What if
It
it was
is.
important?
This is going to begin to sound
It's on shoot.
familiar.
Why
You'll
is it
see
it's
how
the
very
government?
easy
It's
and
not the
effective it is to
government,
build
it's
up your
my
trees in this
grandfather.
manner. Now the
He's the
number
government,
48.
isn't he?
No,
I thought he was the mayor.
oh, but I want to have him on the show one day.
Now on to number 4.
And we do have the setup at your place.
Yeah.
Oops, dropped it.
That's okay. It's good for texture.
Back to 25 bottle green.
I mean, leaves fall.
One tree has been built up. Now let's go to the other tree and maybe try
It's
another
not
type of a
working again.
limb.
Obviously it is, because he's
Spring
ringing.
sprig.
Oh, his internet.
Instead of doing the yellow greens, I'm going to do a build-up
What happens
of
when
only
you're
the
a grandson?
turquoise
You
greens
tech
to
guy.
get variation. This is a very important part
That's
in
right.
doing composition, varying the colors. All right.
Yeah, you are.
starting
You're
with
a tech guy for me.
34. Again, blotting it.
I don't know.
It's a much different feel in
Think
this
I
leaf
do.
pattern, and that's
Yes.
good.
Boy, that's some bad news.
I always do more of
I'm
my
an
lighter
idiot.
colors, doing fewer and fewer as the color gets darker. I'm going to do a double color here. There's no harm. You don't even have to clean your
You like some
stamps off
pineapple or
between
no?
colors of green. They just build on each other.
Oh.
Now we're going to go to number 33, which is an oriental blue, which matches
Oh, that was
very
hipsters
well
because we
with
were
the,
drinking hipster beers.
it's to the
And this
blue
episode,
theme.
we're hipsters drinking
It's
kombucha.
the dramatic frosting on the cake to the blue colors. And
Hipsters
turquoise
watching
colors, just like
VHS,
25.
drinking
Exactly.
kombucha.
And we have a
Not
build-up
just any
of the tree.
VHS, like nothing we actually want to watch either. It's something we're watching
Now I'm
ironically,
going
right?
to show you other examples.
I
of
wouldn't call it
colorful
ironically.
colors. We've done a forest scene in the winter.
Close enough.
We'll do one in the
We
fall.
get a
and
weird
you will see
enjoyment out
how
of
very
this kind of
effective
crap.
using different pens on the same stamps can be.
Thinking of you. Aw.
Well, that's the
Now
thing.
we're
Like,
really getting into some serious
the reason why I really
This
enjoyed this
time,
show
let's
isn't
do a
just
floral composition.
out of laughs. Like,
We'll begin
when I
the
was a
floral
kid,
composition.
I was one of those latchkey kids that
Clearly
just
wrapped. We
sat
need to have something to put a floral
when-
arrangement in.
on my
All
own
right, now very,
with
very
no one
easy
to tell me
color
what to
in.
do, and I
We're
just go
taking
through all the
blue,
VHS that were in the
coloring
in
in
the
back of the
storage of the
composition.
place and just
In other
watch
words, the
them. All
background
my
of this
exercise
bag.
tapes and
This is,
every
by the way,
movie that
number
we had,
10,
and
blue, a
And it does
wonderful
kind of
blue.
bring back the sort of video shop
highlight the
memories of
ribbon.
going to rent videos and like you'd get the 7 or whatever, the 5 or the 7 for the week.
so
and,
you find like 4 that you want to watch,
you
and then it's like,
stamp,
well,
make
what else am I
sure
going to
that
get?
every
well, you know,
area
I'd
is
pick
covered.
one, and then my
Now,
brother
it
would
took a
pick
long
one, and my
time.
mum would probably pick one that
Puff
was,
and puff.
you know, not that interesting. But we'd watch them all like
You gotta
3
wa-
times.
Yeah, exactly. Get your money's worth.
No matter what it was,
Now again, touch up. I see one area. that
it
didn't
was
get.
it was always
So I go to the fine point. This is a
we'd always try and
double-edged
sneak
dual
into the
pen
adult section,
right here and go
see what
over
kind of
that
porn
one
they
area
had.
that didn't get.
What kind of video store was that? Was that a mom
Now,
and pop one
while
or
this
one of the
stamp
big chains?
has a little
No, it
bit
was
of
definitely not a big
impressive
chain.
to it.
Because the mom
I'm
and
gonna
pop one that we
grab a
had,
spare piece of
Donnybrook, they just let us
Tracing
buy
paper again.
things. We
Breathe
used to
on it
watch
again.
like Toxic Crusader and stuff.
And stamp it. This is going to form
Yeah,
my
I mean,
block
they never stopped us from
or
doing like
stencil
horror
mask.
movies and
It
stuff.
can be referred to in any way.
They wouldn't have let.
Straightforward.
Very
But all
carefully,
the
I'm going to cut this
hard
stencil
R
out
stuff.
Oh yeah.
all around the edges. After having cut the stencil, you see how this fits right over the image? So then it is a block to my
I actually got
flowers going
one of my
inside the
favorite
bag.
tapes.
Hmm?
Down there.
Ants?
What?
Is it ants?
No, it's not ant. It is not ants.
I'm
What
going
is
to begin the flowers with
Tugs.
probably the
Tugs.
strongest and
That the one with the
that's
Halloween
most
episode?
upright.
Yeah.
I
It's an
queued it up
island.
that we should probably watch that.
Choose maybe
Halloween.
a blue theme.
We'll do Halloween tugs. That's
I'm going to be using an array
Well, we'll
of
only do
colors.
like that episode, the
I think
Halloween.
you'll
Yeah.
be able to see
Is that
with
because
these
I figure
wonderful close-up
like,
shots what
you look
colors I'm
online,
using.
so many like Halloweeny cartoon specials that we can get.
Again, I
And I
love
think
to
the
vary
first Where's
themes.
Wally episode has like bats in it.
No two
Oh,
stems
we'll do a
have the
compliment.
same
That
color.
sounds fun. Anyway, I just wrote Halloweeny cartoons down on it. Oh. But then actual Halloween, but that.
And then press.
What about Babysitter's Club? That was a Halloween one. It's like $10.
Touch up
Get it.
right with the blue.
I will think.
Some glitter must have escaped on that stamp. On to the carnation.
What in carnations?
Use pink.
Car Nation?
Yeah.
A nation of cars?
Yeah. Did it red. What does that say?
Now on to the rose.
Fun.
Let's make it lavender. Why not? Stencil in place. Let's
Did you see that fade cut just then? He's just in.
At this point, I'm looking for a stamp
She likes
that is
lavender.
going to go
Learned
very
that.
far to the
Hey.
right, and I find that in the fuchsia. It's going to go way over to the side.
You can
and
see
that's
into
what
the
I want
fuchsia.
because I'm fanning out this arrangement.
And how did she not foresee
Start with
what would happen
lavender again.
when people got a hold of her tapes?
No, the flower.
I know. With the pun.
Now on to a daffodil. Now, you
Yeah.
notice I'm doing this at random, guessing where these flowers would go. A tool became available on the market several years ago called the Stamp Positioner, designed by Stampa Barbara. It is the most
Stampa Barbara?
marvelous tool
Like
for
that.
accuracy.
I want to
What
get
I
a stamp
do,
of Barbara
I'd
tape.
like to explain how it's used. I have it in this holder right here. I color up the stamp with the colors that I plan on using. In this case, yellows, 2 shades, of course.
Only
A
one.
little orange. Put a stem on it. Now, here's the plan. I take this like a T-square, and I put it down with a piece of tracing paper in its corner.
It's not a T-square. What is it?
I take
What is
the
that
stamp
thing?
and put at right
Not a
angles.
T-square.
Right down here. Now,
I don't
I'm
want to
gonna
know what
stamp
it's not.
hard. I'm going to stamp so I get an impression. Just a little. All right, now, this is the best part. I now can take this and arrange where I want this to go. I want this to fit in between the carnation and the iris, and I never would have guessed it otherwise. So with the use of the stamp positioner, I get it exactly where I want it without anything
Genius.
going
It really is something.
in the wrong direction. There it is in a place I'm comfortable with. Now I merely take the positioner, put it back in place according to where I have the tracing paper.
Oh,
Lift off the
yeah,
tracing
smart as
paper,
that. I'm figuring this
breathe
out.
on my stamp with warm, moist air, and press it down, and I have
That's my favorite
this
bit.
exactly where I wanted it to go.
If I was gonna cut this down, I really should like have more
Now,
energy to
for
cut things down.
balance,
If I was
as
gonna
look
cut
at
this
my
down, I'd do that
composition,
and
it's
juice it.
getting full, but I need something to go
Juicy.
over to the
Juicy.
left-hand area.
Yeah.
So again, my block goes on, and I'm going to ink up. Let's go with the geranium again.
All right, if you say so. We won't tell anyone.
You're the boss.
All right. Now I want you
Keeps
to
wiping
do
stuff on her
something
pants. I
from
want to know if she's got
arrangement.
special
When I
pants
finish a
on, or whether
composition
the
like
towel
this,
is down
I'm
there.
not
I mean, to
by
be
any
honest,
means finished.
she's very proud of
But
her
I'm
work.
finished with
Yeah,
the
but
section
stamping
so
pants.
So I doubt
assess what it
she would
needs.
be someone who was
Now, when you
like,
do
no,
regular
I hope I
floral
don't get
arranging, you need
ink on my
fillers.
pants.
And
Yeah,
that's
but
what
I'm
I
just
need
more
here.
interested,
This
like,
is
does she
just
have
too
patented
open, but I don't
stamping
want any
pants
more
that
heavy
have like
flowers.
soft
So I'm
bits
going to
there
a filler,
or
which can be any
something?
leaf or green stem.
She seems
In
like the
this
kind
case,
of
I'm gonna
person
go
who
to
just
one that I used in the tree.
she'd literally
That's
go out to buy
very, very
pants and be like,
flexible.
well, those will come up nice with some.
Start again with a very, very light
There is that,
color.
but also she's an entrepreneur.
I
She
don't
does
want it
create
to
her own
affect the
products for
composition
this
too
line,
much.
so
Put my block in place,
We should probably be
and now
advertising.
begin to fill in.
not so much pants, but like maybe a stamping ink.
Exactly what I wanted to do.
Exactly.
Right. Now this, again, isn't a real attractive green to finish off with, but it's my basic green. It's a little darker shade again. Same sort of buildup. I almost don't even need to mention it. You know what I'm going to do.
You said basic green, and it makes me
Now,
wonder whether this is
I
a
want a touch
wash
of
and
color. I'm going to go to a
and
stamp
set.
that we call scattered flowers, and just isolate one or two of the flowers. And I'm going to do it very save time by doing it by starting with yellow and just put a few flowers in among the greens.
I mean, when I was a kid and I first watched this tape,
Now,
I was
trick
just
is you
blown
don't
away
need to
by the
stamp
fact
your-
that you don't
to
have
clean
to
your
just
stamp.
put a
When you
stamp
just
in
go
a thing
on
of
to the
ink
next
and
shade
stamp
darker,
it.
such
Like
as
you can
orange.
color in the bits that you want and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Oh,
It's some like common sense stuff that you just don't think of.
Then go on to pink. Again, not even cleaning the stamp.
Get to clean your pen though.
yeah. Probably does this thing where she cleans every single pen.
Because I was hurrying,
Guaranteed. Even the
I
ones
have
she
a
didn't
little area down here where green
Just
from
in
the
case.
stem has gotten into the area that I want to stay white. I go to a
Oh.
correction pen available at any stationery store. I love these correction pens. They don't clog up. All you do is shake, begin pressing, and you get white out. Love white out. Okay, and I'm going to go right over this
You're
area.
not
and
meant to
not
say
even
brand
going to
names.
see
What a
where it
correction.
has shown. And I get rid of the area where I got green, and I see an area over here.
I always find correction pens
Everyone
very
makes mistakes.
prominent. Like they show
Now,
up
a reason
that you've
is
used
hard.
them, and they get dirtier
Let's
quicker
make it
than
into
paper
a
as well.
thank you note. So I'm going to take the words thanks a bunch. And of course, we're going to blend the colors. Now, previous to this time, we blended the colors
Get it? A bunch of flowers.
vertically. Now
Thanks
let's
a
blend them
bunch.
horizontally.
It's funny.
In looking
That's what
at the
she should put as
composition,
the
I want
text.
to pick up
Thanks a
colors
bunch.
that I've used.
This wasn't the
I've
one that
used
says that,
blues.
huh?
I've used lavenders.
Liquid paper.
purples. Let's maybe start with a light lavender over the top.
Yeah, I heard it called liquid paper and white out
Go
here in
to
Australia,
maybe a
but
magenta,
correction
like a
pens sound better
medium.
to me. You could use it to like
Then
help
finish
people
up
not be
with a
criminals.
real
or something.
rich purple.
Just gotta
Now remember that
use it
purple is
over the
very
top of their
strong,
criminal
so
records.
I go back
Not
to my
criminals anymore.
previous shade and blend. Just for safe measure, I'm going to go to the stamp positioner. Got a piece of tracing paper. Quickly put it in the corner. Lightly place Thanks a Bunch down.
It really is.
Position it where I want it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize she was actually going to go with that.
Boy, it gives me the flexibility of really getting it where I want it to go. I like its composition right here. I put the positioner back. Breathe on the stamp.
That was a serious hobby
and
because
press.
they don't call it a
Many
T-square,
other
they
uses
call
for
it a
this
stamp.
positioner, but right now I'm just addressing
If it was a
most useful
T-square, it
one.
would have like ruler
And we have a
measurements on it
finished
as well.
composition.
Basically, they
It
took the
probably
measurements
does.
off
I'm
it.
pretty sure it looks like it
Clearly
does.
wrap that I used as a vase is a very flexible stamp. What I want to now show
Like
you is the different ways in which it can be used, not only as a holder
Yeah,
for
it's a-
florals, but as a container for many, many other things.
Celebrate.
I told you she loves it like purples.
Thinking of a bunch.
Or a bunch.
Secret number 5. What do you do to achieve your airbrush effects? We're up to number 5 of 7.
I'm
Nothing.
often
We don't
asked,
do it.
I use
Bye.
an airbrush? No, I don't. I use a makeup
That's not a secret,
wedge
that's an
to
answer.
get an airbrush look. That way I don't have to have as much equipment. The makeup wedge needs to be a quality product.
Equality.
Tightly woven sponge. You use the triangle portion that comes to a perfect point. Now notice each color of pen that I use, I have marked with a number above.
It's
Number
so
8
smart.
is not white.
That way you don't
but
mix
here
up your
you
sponge
can see
color.
52 is a pale green. 48 is
You
a
don't want to
medium
get a lot
green.
of different colors
Now,
on
I'm
these sponges.
selecting
These are just normal
pens
sponges. They're
specifically
not magical
for
rainbow.
use on the sponges that have worn down. It's a great suggestion for those pens that you're almost ready to throw out. And it's very, very easy to use. I have 2 keys. I say practice,
Easy to use 'cause it's
sponging,
fun to
and
do.
use your sponge dry. If you remember those 2 secrets, you're in business.
2
Let's do
secrets.
Sky. Sky
So this is
is
8
one thing
secrets.
that I sponge more than anything else.
Bonus.
Bonus secret
take
that
a
we didn't
sponge.
talk about
Let's
because
get
we
the
wanted the
sponge marked
alliteration
53.
in the video.
That's a very
Yeah.
light blue. And I find my 53 worn down marker. I put my
That or
brush
she's just
art
making it up
marker
as she goes along.
right on the sponge.
It's her
and get it
husband then had
loaded
to
up
edit
with-
it all together and goes, well, we can
I
probably
don't-
do a video of this
Now,
and
this is the key.
There's
we could call it
absolutely
that.
Wear it
no,
down and it's very,
not
very
much editing
dry.
needed really. It's literally just
The
where do we
palette.
put the title cards
start
and
in the
when
corner of
is
my
it unnecessary for us to actually have
And
anything
just
going on.
arc that soft color. You see, it's very
It's
soft, and this is
beautiful.
an important point. When you're building up your sponging, you want to build up slowly. You don't start with a real dramatic color. Remember,
this
to
makes
blot it
things
off.
look better. I always kind of looked at the other ones and went, too much white space.
Yeah. But I mean, you're kind of like me in that way.
We have a very, very subtle effect. Now
Like
moving
blank
to a
white
little
space is
more
kind of
dramatic
distracting.
effect.
Whereas I
Going
think
on
some
to
people
marker number 36.
Yeah.
would argue it's
One other suggestion
part of the
would
art.
be very helpful.
Blank
is when
white
you're
space is so
blotting off
distracting to me
your
that I put
sponge,
stuff
make
all
sure
over my
to
wall.
blot off the
I
edges.
just-
Till-
So, the color of the walls, we're not done painting
of
yet,
someone
but
new
the
using
color of the
sponges
walls here, like,
is big dramatic sponge
Corey stopped
lines
asking
on the
me because I was like, we should just
composition,
get
and
like a
you don't
vivid.
want that. So we've
Off
wiped
white.
off the
Okay. Mother
number
of
36.
hell.
Now this is
And
getting deeper.
and I was like
See
proper like color,
how
like not a
very,
dim
very
color, not like a grey.
soft and
So in the end, it's
subtle
like, all right,
it
you
is.
can pick a
Let's
grey.
get the other side.
That's what I picked. It's blue.
It's blue gray.
No, it's blue.
Nice. That
Whoops.
baby blues.
Sorry.
One shade
Baby
darker and
blue.
we'll be in business.
Why
With all the movement that she's making, it must be hard on her shoulder. Wonder if she sometimes gets tinnitus. Tendonitis, not tendonitis. And she's moving her elbow too
Ken,
much
so
and she got
close to
ringing in her
36,
ears.
but I'm
A
using the same
tendonitis.
sponge.
Probably. The only way to find out is to read her
Read the
husband's
book.
book.
Go buy it.
Go
Buy
buy
me
her
a copy
husband.
while you're at it.
I think it's on Amazon. Life in times of
I also want to get depth below through sponging. So I'm going to take sponge
Creator
number
of Potion
48
Impressions.
with pen number 48.
Wonderful, exciting. Ear instruction
sure
on
it's
rubber
dry.
stamping. Brush art,
Point from the
making
corner.
pens for stunning effects.
now
Vivid,
filling the
pure, and
ivy
even
with some
blended
soft
colors. Mostly purple.
background sponging.
Which I'm okay with. I like
Beginners become artists, and artists discover new possibilities.
ability.
Don't forget, it's wiping off the sponge
Spider
and
on
getting it very dry. That's when you have control. Now, I'm very eager to show you the difference. Before sponging, after sponging.
Yeah, so much better.
Do you see how this completes your composition?
Do you see?
All right,
Do
now,
you
this is
see?
just the beginning of techniques with sponging. I could
Although,
talk for
honestly,
hours.
I would have sponged
However, I'm
the
going
whole
to
card
shorten it.
first.
That
And did the
might
steps.
clash with the colours of
And I want to show
the
you how
greens
you
and
can
stuff
take a
might not show up
composition
quite as they're meant.
to get through this much
Use one
more
of those
quickly.
ceiling
I've already
sprays, right?
stamped out my new address composition.
How I did it with
but
the
it's
little
very,
figures
very
that I
blank and open, as you can see. Now, the sun gives me a wonderful jump-off point to do a sunset.
Don't send that like a postcard. It'll come straight
Now I'm
back.
going to go to my very light color yellow. Get it all dried off and go around the sun. A color that blends very well into number 5 is number 59. It's a very light.
He's memorized the colors of all
Good
the
sunset
numbers. Ask her what color number 57 is. Wait on.
I was surprised that one of those, like that guy who did that How to Win at Poker Machines.
Yeah.
One of his tapes is on eBay.
You found that? Then how much were they asking?
Quite a lot.
I mean,
From there,
he's a
we'll go
fancy
to
man
a
who likes to
little
play
more
poker, but
dramatic.
he also enjoys a big
Coral
cup.
35.
Second. Is my brain on long enough to remember when my This one I sent it to.
He probably did. I just
You'll notice because the sponge
When I don't
is
have any
so
money, I don't look at
soft
things
and
that I-
hardly has any ink on it, it's not disturbing
Yeah, I
any
don't
of the
want
ink
that.
colors below it.
probably on my list with the
Now let's
tapes.
go to 31 lavender.
How to Win at Blackjack.
I don't think that's it.
No, but that's a book or VHS. $20 seems reasonable for one of those ridiculous tapes. I do have a secret to success video,
gonna
but it's
finish
just
up
a
with
guy
some
talking.
normal
like most
colored
of my videos
sky.
are.
Like 36. So I've done 36 here. Oops, here we go.
How much blotching?
Suppose it was. Never changed it.
I bought it.
Possible. Oh, here it is. 35
And we have
bucks.
our completed sunset card.
I think, yeah, he did send it.
I'm just too
somewhere.
eager to show you other sunsets. So now you will see an
He's got his
entire
face up in the
array.
top.
I'd love to learn how to win at blackjack. That might have to be a must play.
examples, you'll see me use a fishbowl
Wants to save my
as a
money
vase.
for like 10 pairs of headphones.
Now, my technique for that is very simple. I put the flowers in the vase. In fact, let me show you up close.
Okay, show me.
Here's my fishbowl. I'm adding
Yes.
a flower. I'm adding an array of flowers. I'm adding a bunch of flowers and my floral filler. Now the marbles, how are they done? Very simply, only by inking up the berries from the holly
The
stamp,
berries from
you can
holly?
get wonderful marbles. So I've
But
inked
you
those
wouldn't
up
wanna
in blue
buy marble
and covered the
stamps.
bottom of the fishbowl with marbles. Then, through the sponging technique,
At least she knows
of a
where they are,
reverse
right?
mask, I am able to sponge in the water, as you can see here. Now that
I
brings
like that.
me to another type of sponging that is truly exciting and dramatic, and that I call maximum sponging. Now I'm going to give you an
Maximum
illustration of how I
sponging.
do that. I've taken and previously stamped a card with some flowers at the top, and I've purposely left the vase open. You don't see any stems in it. These aren't the types of flowers. Then I've taken a reverse mask. I've stamped it on a card. I've stamped it on a piece of paper so that I have a reverse mask to cover it. Now, when I go to sponge, I don't wipe off the sponge. I get full color. I'm taking number 8, and I'm getting a rich purple. Now, what I'm doing is really inking
Rich
it.
pep.
I'm not going to block
Really
this
ink
at
on
all.
that spot. Yeah.
I think you're going to be amazed at what a wonderful effect you can get. Make sure that's covered, and now I just stamp solid.
Yeah, stamp it, D.
All right, this you have to see.
Okay.
You have a full vase.
Wow.
Now, I do need touch-up. Now, you'll notice that I left the little areas where we have highlights cut into it. So I have a ridge here that needs taking care of with my touch-up pens. So now I go to that same color. I have an edge here just for touch-up. And if I've
It depends on
left any area showing, this is where I fill it in.
missed a spot. You missed a spot. Oh no!
Art without anxiety.
Now you see how even your coverage is, even though
Missed
you
it.
did it 3 or 4 times.
That's how you
Re-inking
know
the
it's
stamp.
made.
Now,
That and you
just
put
for fun,
sesame
I'm
seeds
going
on top.
back to a favorite technique, which is
Edible.
sticker paper. I've previously stamped the brilliant
Sticker
butterfly.
paper.
Now I'm going to crack and peel off the back and make it into a designer vase, shall we say. Put it
Okay, we shall say
right
that.
in the middle. And here we have a butterfly vase.
Yay!
Just so you'll see all of the different uses of this vase,
Like
we're
real
going to
life
show you
clip
an
art.
array.
Butterfly effects? Oh no.
Secret number 6. How can I use related products to achieve special effects?
I like special.
This is our
the
penultimate
special effects
secret.
portion of our video.
Like Avatar.
I'm going to begin with embossing, simple embossing.
Yeah.
Ooh, I knew
You
there
don't
was
use
secrets there.
Damn.
On your image for a very good vehicle to emboss. Embossing ink needs something staying wet longer. So we go to a pigment pad. These pigment pads, you'll know they're pigment pads, they cost more. This
Oh.
one has been designed by Colorbox. And it's a great pad loaded with ink. I've chosen the silver gold combination, a fabulous combination. Now, one thing about the making of these pads,
Fabulous.
the pad rises.
Ooh.
so that if my stamp seems larger, it doesn't matter. We take the pad to the stamp, like this.
She's stamping a stamp. She's going nuts.
And it's covered with silver ink. Now I'm going to stamp that silver ink down on a piece of paper.
Yeah, stamp.
Great part about this is that it will stay wet long enough for me to adhere embossing powder. Now embossing powder, let's open it up.
You ever seen this stuff?
No.
Is almost like thermographic ink.
It reacts with the ink and makes the ink puff up.
You spread it on liberally and you shake off all the excess. Just give it a little shake. Now, the other thing that makes embossing so simple and easy
The heat gun.
is a precision heat tool.
You just
or a
pulls
heat
out.
gun right over the top of the image.
Oh, if you've got one. Gee whiz.
You can see it changing before your very eyes.
Oh, my very eyes.
Look, dude, it's beautiful and all, but I don't get it.
Isn't this a dramatic
I
effect?
come to the party, though.
This is called Rainbow Sparkle and is half embossing powder and half glitter. All right, that is very simple to begin with. Okay.
Yeah,
Now I
simple
want to
to
show you
begin
more
with.
drama through
Oh, boy.
embossing.
Now we're going to get into
We're going to take a vase. This
Drama.
time let's put it in
Yeah,
the
more
gold
dramatic.
side of the pad. Even better than that, let's do a 50-50. Okay,
Oh,
top silver,
don't do
bottom
it. That's
gold.
too daring. Too far. Too far.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be
I
fun.
don't know about that. I'm getting anxious
Dark
now.
Paper.
On black paper.
Whoa, settle down, D.
Ramped it up to
Real
like the
hard.
next 10 levels.
Your image. Now let's put, translucent gold, I think.
Oh, translucent.
He puts on this stuff the way I put chili
Shake
on my
off your
food.
excess.
Garlic for me.
Put it right back in the container.
Oh,
And
yeah, I'm
now
supposed to use 3
apply
little tiny
heat.
toes.
If you don't happen to have a precision heat tool
Where's my
in
bucket?
your home, you can use an iron at will setting. You can even put the
At least
toaster
the whole
down
garlic.
the
Yeah.
switch.
You can do it on
and
the toaster.
Over the top of the toaster,
Oh,
you can heat it from the bottom up. But our
Just put
favorite
it
is
in
the
the
precision
toaster.
heat tool.
Never would have thought of that. It's hilarious. It does seem a bit excessive. This-
Now you see the wonderful variation we got with the translucent gold and how dramatic it is.
So dramatic.
One more experiment. This time I'm going to use a very special psychedelic powder. This is going to change colors before your very eyes.
Whoa.
Take
Psychedelic powder. huh?
Can I have some
Wildflower
psychedelic
stamp.
powder, please?
Put it first in silver.
Imagine doing tape time on
When
psychedelic.
we do multiple
On psychedelic
stampings, you can
powder?
just stamp, shake on your embossing powder.
Someone
In this case,
messaged me on
psychedelic.
email and said they want to do an interview with me. Have to be microdosed.
Oh.
I'm like, what?
And
You
before
gonna send me the stuff or
let's try
what?
it in gold. Gold is an underbase.
What?
I know, right?
Why?
I don't know.
You do the gold
It's
right
just
over
the
the
show
silver.
that they do.
Why not?
Okay.
Get a gold silver combination.
Weird. Why did they send that to me?
What kind of microdosing are they talking
I
about?
have no idea. I didn't reply
Psychedelic
yet.
ink.
I looked at it and went,
Fun to make a mess.
what is this? Fun making a mess.
I agree, but you microdosed?
Here's the real show.
Out of curiosity, who?
No research.
Like, is that like an out of nowhere thing?
Yeah, I don't know. What?
As in, is it someone who's watched your channel,
Yeah.
or someone who knows who you are?
Yeah.
The longer I apply the
Their
heat,
channel is all about
the more it changes color.
benefits. Looked at their channel. Okay. Why you want to talk to me about it? Think I'm high or something?
I guess.
As you can see, it's a wonderful, wonderful
so
type
smart.
of a
It looks
powder.
nice, but it does seem
Now, I want to
excessive
finish
to me.
this up because we love glitz.
That's okay. You wait until she starts cutting
With
out the
another
stamp things that
tool.
she's done and then sticking like little
You
sponges
see
under them
how
so they're raised on the
gorgeous
card.
No, that's
I've
fine.
seen all this.
That's
with
less.
this
That's less
embossing
like
powder.
ridiculous than
Now we're
this.
going
Send
to
in
add
the
another
hairdryer.
touch. We take a glue pen.
Oh, she's got
which
like 4 or
dispenses
5
tacky
unique
Post-it note
things just
glue.
for this segment.
go
Where
in
I'm
the
like,
center
you
of
know,
the
just for
flower.
this.
Yeah,
I get that it's
she
nice.
did ramp it
Now,
up from like
Dip it
0
in
to 10.
our holographic glitter.
It's like for
Holographic
this
glitter.
segment, you're gonna have to go out and spend a couple $100. Yeah, I don't really want to
Now
though.
look at the added
Holographic
sparkle.
glitter.
Now let's make a design out of all of these elements and put them together.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
She's
Got
lost
it
her
ready.
mind.
So I work quickly. I have all of these elements cut out. And let's arrange them in a composition. But I'm not going to use normal paper. I have been having such fun with wonderful glitzy
Whoa.
vinyls.
Shiny
They're sticky
vinyl
back.
glitter.
And what I've done here is to take a card peeled off the vinyl and put it over the top. To show you
Okay.
how that's done, I'm going to take another color.
No idea what you're
Magenta.
talking about. Never seen
Take
these
off
things
the
before in my life.
backing,
The backing. What's this?
and set it right down like a matting effect
Yeah.
on top. Ooh, even more glitz. Now let's take
It's too much
the
glitz.
vase and the arrangement of flowers.
I was right. She started cutting them out.
We only need about 3. And we have a wonderful composition. Now, how do we attach these? It's easy.
I don't know about that. I'm getting all blitzed out.
Mounting squares, heavy-duty mounting squares, such as you would use in an
Mounting squares. We got something new,
album. I'm gonna
Pete.
just grab some scissors and make these little squares smaller. You don't need much. You pull off both sides. Let's pull off one side first. Take off the top sides. And do the same with each flower.
Each. Now.
And we have a finished, glitzy combination. Now,
Oh,
you haven't seen anything yet.
Yes, mounting sticky squares. You know, the same kind you use to mount other stamps. So much glitz!
And now on to glitter. Very easily done. We take the glue pen. We take a completed image. Glitter is the last thing that you add to your composition.
Gonna add glitter
The
to that
hearts
glitz
I
now.
want to really pop out and have razzmatazz. So
Razzmatazz.
I'm just going to follow the whole feel of the heart sketch, smaller version of what we showed earlier.
That a glitter pen.
Remember, this is
I want a
tacky
glitter
Post-it
pen.
note glue. It dries instantly. You don't have to do this right away either. You can wait a week.
Wait a week.
Now, for ease,
You're gonna
I've
wait a
taken
week
frame
to
and
do your
filled it
glitter,
with
Pete.
Prisma glitter.
Oh no, it's just kind of
In
glue.
here, we shake off the excess. What I do is just snap, and it gets
Isn't this
all the
something they do
excess
to
off,
people when you hate
and
them, like sending them
wow.
glitter in the mail?
Look at the difference. Now we could glitter the streamers. We could glitter everything in this composition, but we'll just stop.
You don't have to do it straight away,
Now
Pete. You
another
can
look.
wait a week.
What do you mean I don't do it straight away?
Beginning
can
with
wait a
a
week.
very simple
Whole week,
combination
yeah.
of Posh Pops. And
No,
again,
Drunkle's
we
here. What's up,
follow
Drunkle?
the outline
You missed out
and
on
a
all the
lollipop.
glitz. She had like this
Boy, will this look
shiny
fun with
bit of
glitter
paper,
on
and
it.
then she had like a shiny sticker, and she stuck the shiny sticker to the shiny paper, and then she put all those shiny things that she made before onto it, but she used little mounting squares to raise them. It was very
Did you
shiny.
get blinded by it?
Okay.
Oh, I'm okay.
One
Is
more.
it the reason you need glasses?
It didn't
Give it a glitter
turn, did
bath.
they? No, they're fine. I didn't notice until after I got done filming all the sketch things for the other bit that I did. That like I was out in the sun and the
Look
glasses turned to
At the
sunglasses.
enrichment of the composition with glitter. Now there's another application that I want to share with you of this glue stick and glitter.
This is still
The glue
Secret Six.
pen has a flat edge,
really good.
so if you write
Didn't you see into it?
calligraphically, you can use
No,
it like a
we're using the
calligraphy pen.
holographic pen that sticks
You
glitter.
also can use it as a fine line pen by using the edge. All right, let's write.
Use the edge. I only use the edge as a bullet shield.
All right, now this is going to dry instantly, and I can put it in an array of glitters. Let's just even go ahead with the Prisma.
Okay, let's.
Why not?
And watch this stand out. See? See how useful a tool this can be? It's fabulous.
I like it.
Now I've got a very new product and a new discovery to share with you for enrichment
Selling
under
us
the
stuff.
enrichment techniques area. This is called Liquid Applique, a product that has come out
Liquid
by Marva
Applique.
Uchida. A great product. The only disadvantage to this product is you need to apply it the night before finishing it up by raising the image.
I'm going
In
to do
other
some
words,
stamping
here I
today.
have
But tomorrow morning I have to
liquid
finish it.
applique with a very, very small point, and I'm going to take an image I maybe want to enrich.
We're going to get a
blow
here's
up,
what I prepared earlier.
or raise,
Yeah.
rather.
No doubt.
See how easily
Oh,
I've
this
gone
is
over
the-
the image? Now this needs to sit about 6 hours. This can be done on fabric as well as paper. Okay, fortunately, we were busy bees last night, and I got the whole arrangement completed with liquid applique. And as I said, it's had a chance to sit. Okay, we take, again, the Precision Hot Tool. You can do this with
Anyone
an iron
who gives
or a
you one of
hairdryer
these cards, you
as
know
well.
they care.
And we
Yeah.
go
Or they're
over the
bored.
image and
All
watch
of that,
it
they've got a
raise.
lot of time on their hands. And a lot of motivation.
I wish I had. things. Whoa, look at it
It's
puff.
coming.
Hey, yes, that's raising straight up.
Wow.
Wild.
I just want
Look
to
at the
pick it up.
dimensions.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Now, on top of that,
Oh, squishy.
we're going to give it glitter without any adhesive. We go back to our
What?
Prisma
No.
glitter again, dip it in the glitter. Doesn't even have to be warm. It has so many different areas. And
Yeah,
shake
it's
it
marshmallow
off,
fluff.
and wow.
Wow.
Sorry to say wow so many times, but these are very, very effective techniques.
Yay, this is one of the
Now,
later
I
tapes
don't
where her
want to
husband
stop
told her to
without
stop it.
showing you
Aw,
what can be
he
done
was
in the
wrong.
winter months.
He was wrong.
He was wrong to say such.
Here we have a composition of like a snow village. I like to think of this as mountain cabins. And I've applied the white liquid applique
White?
over some of the trees and over the buildings and so forth. Now let's heat
Okay.
this up.
Oh, puffy snow.
Oh, dude. And drop it.
Can you believe the difference? Now I'm going to give it another glitter
It
bath.
must be special.
Fake.
Put everything in glitter.
As I said, this must be how Avatar was.
Look again. Winter fantasy. Now you're going to be seeing so many
That is
more
actually kinda cool.
illustrations of liquid applique with the addition of glitter.
Look at that flying window. Christmas. Whoa, that's too many. Secret number 7. What other suggestions do you have for using my stamps? Secret. Not telling you.
Suggestions for use of your rubber
And our
stamps?
last secret.
I've got lots. Let's start with wrapping paper. You see here,
Wrapping paper.
when you have a white piece of wrapping glossy paper, you can stamp right on the image. First, I take a piece of white glossy wrapping paper, stamp the roses, in this case, on the paper, form it around the package, and we've got a wrap package. I never overstamp. I make sure I'm just doing it on the part that counts, sometimes only on the front. Now, this, for instance, you can't stamp over a dark surface. These are water-based pens. So, in this case, what did I use? Sticker paper. I stamped the soldiers on sticker paper, cut them out, and applied them on a dark surface.
Genius.
Now, that's not all. I am
Not
so
all.
crazy, I stamp on my checks.
He's so crazy.
As
Gee,
you
what?
can
Stamps
see,
on his checks.
It's very easy. In fact, the bank suggests, if you don't like the design of the checks, to go to a stamp
The bank
store and
suggests
get
that you
something
stamp
more
on their
interesting.
checks. It makes it
Flowers.
harder for them to read.
Thanks if you're reimbursing someone, and I love pleading lady, please accept my late payment. I never get overcharged. On to stamping envelopes. If you don't do
Gee whiz,
anything
how often does
else,
that happen to you,
stamp
Dave?
an envelope. Here we have a wonderful colored envelope, a Halloween envelope,
Ooh.
a patriotic stamped envelope,
Dun, 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 dun,
birthday
dun,
envelope.
dun, dun.
And here we've taken quite a different method, which we don't really have time to go into.
What?
But we've stamped on a watercolor paper, then taken a
You mean we
watercolor
don't have time to
brush
go?
marker, just a watercolor, actually, pen,
For the next
and dipped it in water to reactivate the ink, making it much, much stronger. A fun way to stamp.
Don't
On
overcharge
to
me. I need
special
money to
cards.
get stamps.
The stand-up card, of which
Ooh,
I have
stand-up.
2 fun examples to show.
And look, the bits are popping out. How do we do
We
that,
even
Dee?
go into
I have
musical
to come back for the
cards,
next video.
fun envelopes.
Oh.
You can see how this was stamped as a happy birthday stamp. We press the button, which has been disguised with a posh peony stamp, and we have a happy birthday message. While we're on the happy birthday message singing, let's go on to a pop-up birthday card.
Wear a scarf.
The look on his face, he was like, he looked so like, help me.
Why not?
How did this happen again for the 18th time?
He said fun envelopes.
Wishing you well.
I just like to call them
And
fun
now,
envelopes.
explosion
Don't
cards.
get too crazy.
Here's a wow, wait until you see what's inside.
Wow.
And you've got an
Wow.
explosion of color
That's so
and design.
cheesy, but I also
and a
love
note that says thanks a bunch.
And it says thanks a lot.
You're so thoughtful.
And it's got flowers.
Another explosion. Thank you. Calendars are another fun way to rubber stamp. Here we've designed
But this
a
isn't a
pocket
secret. This is just
calendar.
all the things I can't show you in
As
this
you
video.
can see, each page has been hand stamped. What a gift to give someone.
But he's done it too.
Now on to invitations. My whole belief is, if you
Everyone's
take the
wearing
time
scarves.
to hand stamp an invitation, everybody will come.
You hand stamp an invitation, everybody will come.
What if I don't want everyone to?
Then don't hand stamp an invitation.
Good to know. Never. Yeah. Can't stand my.
A fun type
might
of a
be, right?
card is a trifold, where a large piece of paper is stamped and it's merely divided into 3 sections.
This isn't a secret. This is all the bits
3
that she
sections
doesn't
are
have time to
folded,
show us here.
so that when it opens out, you have
Secret
an
is she has
entire
more videos to come.
dramatic long card.
What's the secret?
A Christmas trifold.
Oh, yes.
Where
Should
did she
begin
find
to
the
see
paper?
endless.
That's huge.
Summer.
I mean, ooh, like a
Glossy
Holiday.
note. Yeah.
circus.
Jeez. We'll put a lot of work in.
Another idea are Christmas cards. I have several cards that have been hand-stamped or added to stationery. In
But
this
here's the
case,
thing,
this is a
like,
piece of stationery, and
How
we've
long do you
added
have
an
to keep a
embossed
card up? Yeah,
poinsettia on a mount.
A serious question? 'Cause I
yeah,
don't really
like birthday cards and stuff. You got to put them up for your birthdays, like a
Embossed
week after your
bells with
birthday. You can
holly.
throw them out, or how
I
long?
think it's probably fair.
But
Again,
if it's
over a
got something
card,
like this much effort put into it,
embossed
made it.
in
Do you
rainbow
have to keep it
sparkle
longer?
embossing powder.
Then I don't know.
Stockings.
If it's the only time they're going to do it for you, maybe. But like, if every year you're going to get another,
You can see how
I
dramatic
don't know.
these
Could you frame it and
examples
put it
are.
on your wall
Another
forever, or-
invitation. This, by the way, is the envelope to fit the invitation.
And
And a Christmas note. Just to conclude, I am so crazy about rubber stamping
I
that
can tell.
stamp in my organizer calendar. January, February, hearts, March, April,
quick, let's pause on the video and read what she's doing this year.
June, July.
Good luck.
To summarize, I've shown you how to get organized.
Hope she was.
Then how colors work
Go
so
on.
well on the back of bold images. How to blend those colors so that they're smooth in transition. Then an entire composition, what to check for, how to combine your stamps together to get an overall effect. From then, the wonderful touch of sponging to finish off designs. And then we went into
Or
enrichment
brushes, then.
techniques, such as embossing
sponges.
and glitter and liquid applique. And then finally, you have ideas on
they're
which
rolling
to
the music.
apply your rubber stamps. At this point,
Finish it.
all I can say is keep stamping.
Keep stamping. You're gonna have to
Think of
stop.
a better way to kick off our
No.
presentation.
Background breakthroughs.
That's the
Or
next
breakthrough
video.
background.
The next video that we're gonna visit with the like in half a year or whenever we do it. Oh good, didn't rewind it. That means we don't lose our spot.
I ejected it on purpose.
Yeah. No, always no. Oh, really, really hot days are really cold in your house.
Because I like the aircon on.
Full on my
It
face.
heats up in here.
Yeah, I know it does.
Really, really heats up in here.
But it makes me shiver. You see me shivering during episodes like, oh, it must be cold there. No, it's hot.
Very hot outside.
Very hot outside.
Get a couple days break, but Sunday's going to be pain in the ass.
Oh, catching pneumonia. What's 38 on Sunday? Ooh.
Forward to that.
I'm gonna go sunbathing.
I'm to not.
All burn. Alright.
Alright.
So, last week I said that this week was Valentine's Day, and I was wrong, so I can't count. Next week is Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to watch a seminar about how to love our wives better. For Valentine.
Okay.
Blame Chris, he found the tape. Got a heart on it. And like this one, it's actually a bootleg that's got 3 tapes on it.
Oh.
So we'll watch the first one and then
Jesus.
pause it, and we'll watch the other 2 next week. Yeah. And for Valentine. Ain't bad. I hope he gets crucified and gets his guts cut out by the Goths.
Never gonna happen. No! I was wrong.
Now we can run around the hills and slap young girls with wet towels all. That's what Valentine's Day is all about.
Sounds like
Yeah.
that the episode's going to be slog.
Yeah, it is going to be. I'd have to find some sort of interesting soda to drink. Not much around that's sugar free.
I asked the lady next to me if she spits or swallows, and she slapped my face. So I am never going wine testing. Oh,
How come that didn't come up on the other thing? But it just happened.
it did. It just happened.
Ah.
Not scones is the go. Anyway, anything you want to add for the end here?
No, like that's what we do at the end. We talk about next week, and I did correct myself from last week's next week. Okay. Look at what's coming after. No,
well, that's cool.
that's cool.
We'll talk about that next week.
Okay. Anything you want to add then?
No, I'm good.
Well, I guess we'll get about the YouTube. Gonna upload that video and see how badly we. Yeah.
I guarantee they're not going to accept it.
Sounds fun, but I made a video anyway.
I just like the idea of someone having to watch it. Like their job is going to be to watch that.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, why is my job like this?
These appeals. Well, I hope that all the appeals are just people talking and talking. Please give me my channel, and then they come across that, and it's me being an idiot and deliberately walking too far off camera and having to go back again. I copied the science.
It's a reference.
Yeah.
An obscure one.
Very good.
Anyways, that'll do us, I think.
Good to me. You deal with your migraine, and I'm going to
Right.
deal with my grandfather's tech issues.
Alright, thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, happy stamping. Bouncing.
And of course, Drew.